Let's take another look at all things binge-worthy. Once again, Mr. Binge TV Guru is going to give us a list to discuss. You can catch him here on Al in the Afternoon and on Binge-worthy TV Guru on Facebook.
I've got him, Lewis Binge, Mr. Binge TV Guru, and Al in the Afternoon. Lewis, thanks for coming on, my friend.
Glad to be here, as always, Al.
I would mention that I know you spend a good quality 40, 50 hours a week working on these lists, but the idea that you constantly up the list, that each one's better than the last, I presume most of that time is in brainstorming session, trying to figure out, hey, can this one work or that? Because I'm loving this list.
Mother and I spend a lot of quality time planning out the next list, and she has great ideas. Most of these lists are developed by Mother, and she said we should definitely cover Johnny Carson because he was a key factor in most boomers' life.
Well, yeah, and those that even didn't know Johnny Carson, all the people, all their comedian friends went through Johnny Carson. So that's why I love the bit. And here's what we're doing. We're playing the first takes of some fabulous comedians that started on Johnny Carson. Because, again, he had to have people roaming the city, going to comedy clubs to find these people. He brings them on because you didn't know who they were. Ray Romano had no idea until he walked on the show. We talked about him last week. And he made their careers. It made them somebody that wasn't getting $50 to do the comedy show.
There was more people discovered and placed on Johnny Carson that became huge stars than any other television ever, including Ed Sullivan. Ed Sullivan had a lot of great stars that had big boosts to their careers, and it was a huge deal to be on Ed Sullivan in the day. But these stars were people that no one knew that made them household names. And of course, every one of these people on the list that we have today, we all know their first name basis. I mean, they're huge stars to every generation.
Well, and I like that, but I would disagree with you, Lewis, on the very first one. I apologize, but let's go to it. It's Stephen Wright.
I'm always glad to introduce a new comedian, especially on Friday nights, because Friday night audiences are usually up. This young man is from Boston. It's his first appearance on national television, and I think you're going to find him a little different. Would you welcome Stephen Wright?
Thanks. I had a dream that all the babies prevented by the pill showed up. They were mad. I was cesarean born. Can't really tell. Although, whenever I leave a house, I go out through the window.
I liked Stephen Wright, Mr. Binge. I'm not necessarily ripping Stephen Wright even being on this list, but I don't think he was the greatest comedian. And what did he do for you after that?
Well, I agree. I don't know that he's done a lot since then other than what he does. He did do a lot of voiceover work in Reservoir Dogs for Tarantino. That was very good. Reason why he's on this list, he is truly a unique artist. I mean, this guy is one of a kind. And I think a majority of people younger than boomers know him from the Tarantino films. But to going on to have a different kind of career, probably not. Probably nor should he. He's a good stand-up comedian. That's probably as far as it goes. So perhaps, just perhaps, you are correct, Al.
Well, I know you don't want to admit it
on the list, but I couldn't resist.
He's a good comedian. I don't have a problem on the list, but it shows the difference between this one and our very next one. And let's jump right into it. Ellen DeGeneres.
This is a good night for a young comedian to appear because you're all in a great mood. This is her first appearance on network television, although she can be seen this month on HBO's Young Comedian Special. And she's working at the Improvisation in San Diego this weekend. She'll be at the San Francisco Punchline the 3rd through the 6th of December, and at the Dallas Improv December the 9th through the 6th to 14th. Would you welcome Ellen DeGeneres? Ellen?
Thank you. Hi. Good. You feeling good? Me too. Feels great. I've been keeping in shape lately, you know. You have to. I'm getting older. I'm 27. People say, you don't look 27. You look like you're about 23. I'm lucky because that runs in my family. My grandmother is 97. She looks about 93. Have a little nephew who's 4, doesn't even look like he's born yet. Tiny embryo of a thing. That's good. That whole fitness thing runs in my family, though, I think. That my grandmother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. She's 97 today, and we don't know where the hell she is.
See, okay, and I know she's not everybody's taste, if you will, but I have always thought Ellen DeGeneres was very funny. I had absolutely no issue when she was given her own show. She did much better than just being a comedian. I thought I even liked her watching her show at times. I mean, again, it's a little more geared toward women than I care to, it's not, I wouldn't watch her show all the time. But when I did, I found her very funny.
Her stand-up is funnier consistently than most. I mean,
Yes.
I think she's very funny, very witty, has her own unique style. I have not seen her daytime show because it doesn't really appeal to what I would normally watch. But that being said, she's an incredible talent and well deserves her own show. Now, I belong to quite a few pages on Facebook that cover film because I like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And of course, they know that. And many, many times she comes up, with those bites that try to get you to link in that says meanest person on television, Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but she's always in the public eye and almost everybody knows her.
The only thing I would say weird for her, I mean, good for her making the money, but her Ellen DeGeneres daytime show, I thought that fit her well. It hit a demo. I had no problem. Again, I find her funny. But she was doing some strange game stuff. And somebody said, we should make an entire hour of primetime TV about the Ellen DeGeneres, and I don't know, play the game or whatever it was called. And that's where it lost me. The games were just silly and it's weird and waterfall on your head stuff. I didn't think she could carry that. It didn't last a long time. Maybe the Game Show Network put up, but I thought she overstepped her niche. And why can people not just stay where they do really well?
Again, not having seen her daytime show, but I'm assuming because the type of personality she has, that she'd be perfect for that, for a daytime show, because she is genuinely witty and clever with guests. I mean, I think she'd be very clever with guests. She's funny. And when I see this, I listened to the whole 7 minutes of this because I got into it. She's funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's great.
We got to go to break, but again, I'm very happy Ellen came on this list, and I think she did well for herself, even outside of comedy. The next couple, rock stars, and we'll talk about those with Louis Binge after this on Al in the Afternoon.
Now it's more of your friend that knows a guy, Al in the Afternoon.
I've got him, Lewis Binge. You can catch him at Mr. Binge TV Guru on Facebook. Binge, I'm going to tell you, even though I think this guy probably made more money than anybody, the next guest we've got on, more than anybody, and I could not be more impressed with what he did with his talent. I don't think in the end he's going to be the one that I think is by far the best, but we'll talk about it. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Here's our next comedian that we're talking about. It is none other than Jerry Seinfeld's first appearance.
He works frequently at the Improvisation in Los Angeles, and he's been working on the road with Anne Murray and Andy Williams. Would you welcome Jerry Seinfeld? Jerry?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. I'm just very happy to be anywhere. I am. It's terrible about this snow back east, isn't it? I mean, I used to live back, I went skiing one time this year, and I loved it. I found out everything about skiing. Somebody told me when you're dressing for skiing that 75% of your body's physical heat could actually be lost at the top of the head. Is that true? Doesn't it sound like you can go skiing naked if you got a good hat? I don't know about that. But I love the naturalness of skiing, the snow, the mountains, I like that part of it. Some sports are just for, gym class, like volleyball is just for people that just want to stand there and rotate. That's volleyball.
All right. Jerry Seinfeld, I mean, you can't not know who he is or what he's done. He takes his whole bit about talking about nothing, just, volleyball or, skiing when you're naked. And he made a career out of it. And he probably makes more money now in syndication from the Jerry Seinfeld show than most comedians ever make in their lifetime on a weekly basis doing the comedy.
No one on this list has taken their talent and utilized it better financially and product wise than Jerry Seinfeld. Incredible show that'll always be one of the great shows of all time. And he is playing himself in that show. His act. His act.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's Jerry Seinfeld, the guy, but that was his act on TV. And again, I give him great credits for the people they put around him. I think the supporting cast keeps something like that afloat. But yeah, the amount of money that cat's made, it's unbelievable for being a stand-up comedian. And Johnny Carson found him and made him Jerry Seinfeld.
He was on Jay Leno and promoting a box set of Seinfeld. That you could get a box set, and the host says, Jerry, you can't see Seinfeld every day somewhere on TV. You got to buy the box set. What, are you running a little short on cash? I mean, Jay really gave him the business for it. It was hysterical.
And it's true. I mean, but that's my point with that guy. So as far as talent, I think he was a very good comedian. I liked his comedy. I liked that rawness to it. One of my favorite jokes he did was literally about washing your neck. He said, you see all these commercials for Tide and then laundry detergent and how it takes out stains off your collar? Yeah. How about if you just wash your neck? I thought, God, I like that guy. So anyway, I love Jerry Seinfeld. I like this stuff.
That's awesome.
But as far as using his talent to make as much money as possible, he's probably the king of this group. But as far as talent and what you had, the next one is my favorite. We talk about it next.
This is Robin Williams' first appearance on the Tonight Show. He doesn't do many outside appearances. I think I saw him about 3 years ago. I think he was on with Dick Cavett one night. Did you know he's the star of the very successful Mork and Mindy Show, which is beginning its fourth season on the air. I begin this Thursday. And he's going to be seeing a new film late next spring called The World According to Garth. You ever read that book?
I read that book.
Interesting,
Yes.
funny book. Would you welcome Robin Williams?
Believe that comedy can heal you. Praise the power.
Praise the Jesus.
And Sears had a sale. This furniture went cheap.
How much you want to play Robin Williams? So in my opinion, Lewis, no better comedian in this entire list as far as the ability to just go off and do something. Then he takes that talent, he goes to TV. Now, Mork and Mindy, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Not going to go down a TV legend. but then he went into movies and serious movies and comedies. And to me, most talented one of this entire group, beyond comedy, television, what he did. Now, again, in the end, it was tragic. Maybe he didn't make as much money as these others, but I think he's by far the most talented in all those ways than anybody else on this list.
Well, I agree and disagree because I think Jerry Seinfeld, for my taste, is humorous and he's more my taste. But I will say that Robin Williams is more talented. I mean, he can do it all. Like you said, he did dramas, he did comedies. He's so off the chart as far as quick-witted and fast. Just an incredible entertainer. And when he was on Carson, and you heard he was going to be on Carson, you went out of your way to watch it because you thought it's going to be crazy, and he always came through. It was
and that's kind of the point. You know, Jerry Seinfeld could just be Jerry Seinfeld. You didn't know who was going to show up with Robin Williams.
Yep.
You know, what kind of weird character, what kind of weird voices. I mean, he was that good. There are others. I'm a kind of a big fan of Jim Carrey's that way, in that you don't know what he's going to do. But anyway, I think overall, and it's just tragic the way this thing ended for him. Maybe that's how you got it. Maybe that's where your mind goes when you're that eclectic and that good. I don't know.
Didn't you always think when you watched him that maybe there was some problems behind the scene with this guy?
That he was covering up. Yeah, I agree.
And I don't mean that derogatory. He's a tremendous talent. It's just like, wow, I wonder what's really going on with this guy.
That was my feeling always was there's something he's been hiding his whole life. And he's found a way to cope with it by, because it's just so off the wall and so fast. Another thing about him is the speed of which you could get onto something and go. It was just amazing. So anyway,
absolutely,
by far, he, my friend, is my ultimate in favorite.
And he'd be my second choice behind Jerry.
Fair enough. Let's. I got to get it queued up here real quick.
Drinking
if I can.
water before
thank you very
bed.
much. Let's skip that. The last one we'll get to. We only have a couple of minutes, but I think maybe that's all he deserves. We'll see. Well, I don't mean to be mean, but I'm kind of mean. Let's
welcome Eddie Murphy. Eddie.
Thank you. Shut up. I've been in this is nice, California. I've been out in here for about 3 days. If anybody see me walking around, I have to explain. I had the same suit on for 3 days. Because I like this suit. I bought it from the catalog.
It's obviously Eddie Murphy. And I say this with all due respect. I think he was a funny guy. I think he's really funny. I absolutely, because he does basically the same character in the movies, the whatever cop movie he was in. I don't remember the name of it. I enjoy Eddie Murphy. I just don't see him anywhere near as talented as, like I said.
His stand-up is outstanding. Some of his bits that he did on Saturday Night Live were outstanding. His movies are, as a rule, horrendous. Just unwatchable. Not even because of him doing the same character, which he does movie after movie after movie, but the fact that they're poorly written, poorly produced, just horrible movies, just a vehicle for him to just do another movie. I presume, because I think he's extremely talented.
Yeah. No, again, I like Saturday Night Live. You made the great point there. He went from the Carson show. He gets his thing with Saturday Night Live, and he ran that about as far as you could. He was the star of Saturday Night for a while. And for the young kids watching now or listening now, you don't understand. Saturday Night Live used to be a thing. Right now, I know it's on, but it isn't what it used to be. And when it was at its peak, guys like him were fantastic.
But even at the time when he started on Saturday Night Live was pretty much in the tank. And he almost single-handedly saved the show because of his tremendous talent. Yeah, is what I read.
No, you're absolutely correct. So no disrespect to him. Again, I liked him as a comedian. His movies, if you've liked his comedic act, you're going to see in the movies every time the exact same thing, but with him saying other lines. All right, Mr. Binge, this is a great list. I'm looking at what's coming up. It doesn't fall off. This is a good list from top to bottom, my boy.
I'll tell you, there are tremendous people who got their starts on Carson. And I'll tell you, these next ones coming up, stand up, like you said, just like the rest. So I'm anxious to present them next week.
I was going to say, why don't we do it next week, Mr. Binge? Same time, same bad channel?
Same time.
All right, we got him. Mr. Binge TV Guru, find him on Facebook. He's my buddy, Alan Afternoon.